I'm Amber Davies and welcome to Call to Stage. This is the space where musical theatre takes centre stage. From unforgettable backstage stories with incredible special guests to insights from my life and my theatre journey. We're leaving it all on the mic every single week, so let's jump in. Hi guys, welcome back to Call to Stage Gatsby Edition with me, Amber Davies. Now, I feel I'm delivering the ep that you've all been waiting for. I have a friend for life sitting next to me. It's the incredibly talented and humble Corbin Bleu.
Oh, hi.
Hi! This is like...
I'm so excited.
This feels so normal.
It's so cool because we spend every single day together, backstage, on stage, and now we just get to
have a chat. Everyone always says to me, what's it like working with Corbin Bleu? You have no idea. The most generous, calm, kind person. And you have lived a life and you are the most humble person
I appreciate that.
ever
Thank you.
met.
You know what? I'm lucky to get to do what I do. And the way I look at it is we're all a part of this incredible experience doing this magical thing called theater.
Yeah.
And if we all just show up and be kind to one another and work hard, it ends up being exactly that, this beautiful experience.
I love that. Right, first things first, we're going to think all about Gatsby, okay? So, have you got any quirky rituals as Nick?
I love theater rituals and how they just sort of develop over time. There is, I at one point I know we have to do like a whole backstage. Sasha, my wife, she's gonna come and she's gonna follow me backstage and show like all the different rituals. But you know, I love at the very beginning, Jamie and I always have a moment because he's always dressed in this beautiful white suit. I show up and I go, the man in white, and then we hug and we talk for a little bit. You and I always have our nickel moment. There's a part in Passes Catching Up to Me where Jamie says, with only a nickel to my name, and for some reason Amber and I just decided to do this for nickel at one point, and we have to do it every time now.
I can't remember how it even started, but
I don't remember either.
It's a part of our plot.
That's how every show is. You always develop these traditions that just randomly happen in one moment, and then all of a sudden you repeat them over and over again. And I feel like it's to keep your energy up, because the moments where you're off stage, you need something to keep your mind going to be able to move on to the next thing. But it's also you find different moments with different people in the cast that maybe you don't get moments on stage together. So it's a nice way to be able to connect off stage too.
We also have heart and nose.
We have our heart and nose.
That's in One Way Road.
For me, this is every show. I always eat my Granny Smith apple. Mm-hmm. That's like been my thing from the beginning. I have a green Granny Smith apple before every single show that I do.
And I said to Corbin, and why is that? You actually have myth.
There is science behind it. It does have properties that helps with saliva, whether to regulate it. It has also anti-inflammatory properties, and then the sugar levels. It's like a even keel sugar rush. That's not like gonna have release. Right. It's slow release. It's not gonna have a crash. And then there's something about that bite, the shape, that it's just a good reminder of placement.
Yeah.
Of vocal
and getting
placement.
it all loose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I love anything tart.
Yeah.
I love
tart. That green apple has been with you since day one.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just discuss, how on earth did you feel when they suggested making your West End debut as Nick Carraway? Like, where did this come about?
Okay, so first of all, I've been a fan of The Great Gatsby as a novel for a very long time. I've always said since I was a kid it was one of my favorite books because it was part of our reading curriculum, and I fell in love with it. So much so that it was gifted to me by one of my music managers as an original publication. I think it was my 18th or my 19th birthday. Never did I think that I would eventually be in a musical about it. When they initially approached me for this, they wanted me to do it in New York.
Okay.
And at this point, the shows that I've done, I really want to be very specific on which shows I go back in to replace versus originating.
Yeah.
And I have not done a show out here in the West End, and it just so happened that I knew that they were developing it out here as well. And Mark Bruni and I, our director, we had worked together on Singin In The Rain at the Muni in St. Louis, and it ended up being a conversation that we said, okay, well, how do we feel about me going to London? Which I was so grateful that, because they are different teams, and I know that there were discussions that were had, and ultimately they came to the decision that they wanted to bring me out here, and I'm so happy that was the case, because I feel like I am so lucky with this cast.
Aww.
No, and I'm not blowing smoke. Like I feel like this cast is the creme de la creme out here, and for this to be my first experience out here, it could not be better.
Oh my gosh. Well, when I found out, I'd heard a rumor. I heard a rumor you were engaged. And I thought, no chance. Corbin Bleu isn't coming over. And then I was in my first fitting, and I peeked at the who'd accepted, and it said Corbin Bleu. My heart nearly fell out my belly. I just could not believe it, and my gosh, I could not imagine having a different Nick.
And I feel the same way with your Jordan. And for those out there that don't know, Amber was one of the first people that reached out to me. Before me getting here, you had reached out over Instagram and just had said, and it was you, John Robbins, and Joel Montague, who basically said, hey, we know you're not from here, and we know you're going to be a stranger in a strange land, and know that you are taken care of and welcome, and anything you need, when you get here, just that alone, thank you for that, for knowing that I'm going to be coming out to somewhere that it's a completely new experience. It's culture shock.
And it is. And they're two worlds. America and England, they're two worlds apart. And it's so brave for you to pick your life up and kind of drop it here for 6-7 months, and your wonderful wife, Sasha, she's here in the room. She's come over with you, and you're both like, we love you like so much. We never want you to go.
Unfortunately, that day will come. That day will come once we hit the end of our run. But I'm sure I will be back at some point. I just know, I am such a musical theater nerd and lover through and through, and it is something that I've always wanted to have the opportunity to do to come and work on the West End.
And you've ticked it off.
Yeah. Get to check that box.
Wow.
Very cool.
That is amazing.
Yeah. In The Great Gatsby.
With me. Hardest part, in your opinion, about playing Nick Carraway?
So, Nick has been a very difficult challenge as a character for me overall, which I wasn't expecting.
Okay.
I saw the show in New York, and obviously the show is called The Great Gatsby. And again, being a fan of the novel, everyone is so extraordinary. They're all very interesting, different characters. And Nick is the everyman. He's the normal one that everything is happening to. And if anything, he is more reserved. He is kind of innocent in comparison to everyone else. I know in the book, one of the first times he gets drunk is that at that in the scene with the the Met in the musical, but basically the apartment. And I think it's his second or third time that he's ever been drunk in his life in comparison to all these crazy wild parties. So he now ventures into this world, and it's once he finally drinks the Kool-Aid that everything breaks, just all hell breaks loose. So it's been, the hardest part was knowing where, as the narrator, I need to not pull focus, and I need to just be the eyes and ears of the audience and still make him interesting.
Yeah.
Because it is a really hard, fine line to play with him, that you want to... obviously, you always want to be active, and you want to be listening, and you want to... you want your character to be memorable.
Yeah.
But for what reasons? And it's not just for the sake of, hey, look at me. So it really is just finding the heart of Nick. And I think that was a little bit of a challenge at the beginning, just trying to find what that is with him. But I'm very happy with the result and proud of it now at this point. And I really do love Nick.
Yeah, I love Nick.
Yeah.
Also, how important it is, like for me, as who works opposite you, you are so consistent.
So are you.
Consistent.
I was just talking about it last night. Yes, I was talking about this with Sasha last night, because we went to go see another show last night, and I was just talking about the consistency in our cast, you included, and just how I know what's beautiful is that you are consistent, and yet you also know how to, within a parameter, change things up and make it interesting.
I'm terrible.
No, you're not.
I deliver something to you. I don't think I've ever delivered a line to you the same twice.
But that's what's beautiful about theater, and what keeps it organic. But it's never
out of the boundary.
Out of the boundary. It's never just out of left field. It always makes sense in where it needs to be. But it's just keeping it organic.
Yeah. And another thing is the time Corbin has on stage. You don't leave the stage.
There are 2 numbers in the entire show that I don't come on at some point, and it's you the golf scene with you and Daisy, and then it's Green Light, because even past is catching up to me. We come on at the end of that number. Those are the only 2 times that I'm not on stage, and there are many numbers where I'm just standing on stage,
and that's difficult,
for the whole number, and I don't say a word, and we're just watching. And it's just about staying present. So it is a bit of an energy sap, more so than I was expecting, because I do tend to do very high energy dance musicals. And that is a completely different kind of energy sap, where I leave the theater just physically drained. But this is one where oftentimes I'm just emotionally and mentally drained. Yeah. Especially
if we're trying not to laugh.
Oh, that's the hardest one.
That is the
hardest one, to try to get through those moments because I gotta say, we have a pretty silly cast.
Yeah. Jamie Moscato is the worst.
He is the major culprit.
Yep.
For sure. He loves trying to make people break and having a silly moment, and what's hilarious is that he doesn't ever really break. So
we're good.
We are good.
I don't think I've ever got you.
I'm hard.
I don't think I'd try.
I'm hard to get. But I will. John Robbins has got me a couple times. There's a moment in Secondhand Suit that he always whispers something to me, and it's always something so inane and just inappropriate, and often there's been a couple times where I just have to breathe.
And it was lovely because John said that we have a lovely balance where, yes, we're silly, and yet the audience would never have a clue.
No clue. No clue whatsoever.
Because we can keep it, it'll never cross a boundary. But yeah, maybe you guys give me ideas on how I can get Corbin before we finish. I know you're ticklish. That's literally about it.
Okay, yeah, you figured that out, and that's one where I'm like, that's a cheap shot. It's
a cheap shot. It's a cheap shot. What is your favorite costume in the show?
Well, it's not going to be one of mine. I have the most boring costumes out of everybody, and it's also extremely hot.
At the
and
minute.
I am in all of these sweater vests and 3-piece suits.
Yeah, I don't know how you do it.
It's too much. But I also, going back to what we were saying before, as far as the character, he is the boring one out of everybody else. Everybody's covered in rhinestones and shininess and glamorous, and he there's constant comments about him. Who's the librarian? Who's the school teacher?
That's the first thing I
say. So I don't think it's going to be one of mine. But man, it's going to be something in New Money. All of those costumes in New Money are just fabulous.
Not my debutante.
Just thinking about it makes me laugh.
What?
God. She has this incredible wide-hipped outfit that is the pair to my uniform, my army uniform. And we do a whole number that we are kind of making fun of each other's outfits throughout. But every time she comes out, I love that.
It's a genuine laugh every night.
It's a genuine visual laugh.
It's like
for sure.
You haven't got used to it yet. It's the funniest thing, and it's so heavy. What is your favorite thing about this whole Gatsby experience so far? Because we still have time.
Wow. I know I said it before, but I'm going to say it again. It's the cast. One thing that the reason why I love doing what I do and why I love this thing that we do, being in theater, it's the people. They are thespians, theater people are supportive, are open. They tend to be very loving people, and I feel like I have been so fortunate in my career over the last 15 years on Broadway that I haven't had a cast that I'm like, God, I hated being in that group. Yeah. You'll have a bad apple, you'll have a bad egg here and there, but even then it's not, and this is no exception. Every single person in this cast I have enjoyed spending time with. I've enjoyed playing along with on that stage. And I feel like it's been a great learning experience too, being a part of this. It's because of the character, because of this show vocally for me. It's also even that it's not in the typical style of what I tend to do.
So you feel like you're building?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it definitely has felt like a wonderful level up.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I thought, like, literally from day one, I thought, it's easy.
Thank you. It's not that, I wouldn't say that it's hard. It's not difficult. It's just different. And it's just something when it's out of your initial comfort zone of what you just find easy. That you go, okay, well, what is this now? How can I do this?
Yeah.
And
that's
it's
exactly
such
the same with me and Jordan. It doesn't, like, New Money isn't vocally where I normally sit in my career. Yeah.
And you nail it every single night. I know you don't think you do, but you do. I'm telling you right now, listen to me. Yeah. You are phenomenal.
Oh, thank you.
Phenomenal.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I'm a harsh I'm a harsh critic.
Corbin is the harshest critic ever. Most underrated moment in the show for you? This is the last Gatsby question.
Oh, I have to think about that. Most underrated moment in the show. That's really hard. I feel like just because I'm thinking about the story that I go through every night and what I always have to live. And the Met is, I feel like, a very difficult number to do. I think it's probably one of the most difficult numbers that I have to do in the show. Where, like, Roaring On in the opening is clearly vocally a lot more, but the Met, it's very one note when it comes to the vocals.
Yeah.
There's a lot of just rigmarole with the movement of the couches and all the props and just dealing. It's just complex with having to deal with all that and then still finding all the humor in it. So I feel like just in terms of sheer work, that probably feels like an underrated moment, but it's just because of the output that I have to do. But I don't know if if I feel like for the whole show.
But that's your underrated, like you feel, because do you know how complex it is? Corbin has to kind of give you a speed through of like maybe a 2.5 hour party in the space of 2 minutes, and he has to kind of get there and show you guys the progression.
Yeah,
like it's a lot to think about.
It's a lot, and even the way it's staged, there's in the they're constantly getting drunk over and just more messed up over the course over the course of the time, and there are so many things happening also behind me that as we were staging it, I was saying I need to just have more interactions with them. I said, because right now I'm talking about it and none of it's actually happening to me. So it was that too. It's just fine. There's just so many little bits to try to incorporate. That, and even that was the other thing. Putting it together, staging that number was also difficult.
Also, just working opposite Corbin and being in a rehearsal room with Corbin, like some of the questions that you asked the director, it was like I was fascinated how detailed your brain goes.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, it was like, oh, we're working with a professional, you know, we're working with a real, like, seasoned actor here. And it's taught me a lot, you know, ask the questions, go deeper, like, push it, make, you know, because sometimes I'm a bit like, I'll find it.
It's so funny, though, because I loved working with you in the room because your process is, I don't feel like you're afraid to ask questions.
Yeah.
At all. It was something that I would watch and I would go, everything that you did was for the sake of what you needed. And I feel like there are people that will get afraid to ask questions because they're like, oh, I don't want to look stupid, or I don't want to look silly, or you know, and that's the wrong mentality.
Yeah.
And there was never a single moment where you were like, I don't want to not try something.
But I think I was led by you guys. I had the questions in my mind, and I feel like when I saw how you worked that way and how Jamie asked the questions, it urged me to, it was like a safe space to ask the questions, you know?
Yeah.
So it was all...
Do you remember we had that first reading, our read-through. I remember our first read-through, which, by the way, it was day one, and we had sat around the table, and already, I mean, I'm an American, so I don't have to put on any accent at this point. It's me. But everybody right from jump was having to put on their American accents, and it was already feeling so strong just from that first read through. And I remember you going, I just know like it's a work in progress.
I was like,
it's
I'm
fine,
a grower.
And it's fine. And I think you said something along the lines of, it's Corbin Bleu's here.
Yeah.
And I remember going, I remember saying to you, I'm like, this is a safe space.
Yeah, you did.
I said, and you will come to find that I am so normal.
Yeah, yeah.
and not at all.
You made me feel so much better. I was like, I felt like I was letting the team down, especially,
Not at all.
You know, even just like wrapping your lips around words that you haven't said a lot in an American accent. I felt like my brain, my mouth, my nerves, it was just a lot. Anyway, we've come far.
Very much so. But that's day one.
I know.
And I think I said this to you the other day too, but the reason why you're also so good is because you are that you have a high expectation of yourself.
Yes, I do. I want to not just be good for me, I want to be good for who I'm working with, you know?
Yeah.
That's important to me.
It is. I think it's important that we all set high expectations for ourselves. It's important that we give ourselves grace. and to know that we're going to get there, but we should never settle.
No,
Just,
never.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. Corbin's career has been incredible. So from you started on stage off-Broadway at the age of 6 years old.
Yeah. So I started my first professional job was at 2.
Yeah, as in a commercial.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I worked in commercials, and I worked as a model for Ford Modeling Agency in New York. And I was like a Gap kid. And I worked for Tommy Hilfiger.
What?
And like, so like, you know, when you go to the mall and like the Gap kids and like the posters, like I was at like 3-4 years old. That was me. Yeah. So I started professionally really young. And the reason being is because both of my parents, my mom used to be in the business. My dad still is. My dad's an actor. I have 3 younger siblings, and none of them are in the entertainment industry. So my parents really wanted to nurture whatever it was that we gravitated towards. They tried everything with me. Sports was not my thing.
No.
But from jump, I loved performing. And it was dance, it was music, it was acting. And I had a knack for it, and I was constantly working as a kid.
And guys, can I just tell you, I've seen a picture of Corbin when he was a baby, and you are the cutest little baby ever. Like, no wonder you were a Gap kid. Enters picture here. Please send me a picture of that picture.
Okay, I will, yeah.
Oh my gosh, so I completely get it. And also, did I read somewhere when you were going to dance school and things like that, were you the only male?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So most of my dance schools early on at that time, yes, I was the only male. And it wasn't until I went to Debbie Allen's Dance Academy.
Yeah.
So the first year that she opened the academy, I think was in 2000. I was one of her first boys
Students.
Of 13 boys that she had.
Okay.
And that was one of the first times that I got to be around other boys. And that was always a big thing too, because it was the fact that I loved dance and it was something that I was always made fun of, for that I'm not into the sports. And again, it didn't, for me at that point, it didn't matter. I loved doing what I do. Yeah.
And I also want to mention, we will get into this, but Corbin is an exceptional tapper. If you go online, go in YouTube, type in Corbin Bleu tapping, there's a couple. What should they type in?
Okay,
Singin In The Rain.
So Singin In The Rain was one of them. You've got
the
Holiday Inn is the Firecrackers
the
number.
Firecracker Holiday Inn. Type that into YouTube. It is one of the most impressive things I have ever witnessed.
And then Bianca. In Kiss Me Kate is another one that's out there.
And he taps on the roof. It's amazing. You were always gifted with like rhythm since you were young.
Tap was always one of my favorites, and it's because it is one of the only dance forms that is also an audible art dance form. It's rhythmic and audible and musical, along with being a visual medium. Yeah. Oh, I love tap. It's always been one of my favorites. And also, just how do you feel about not dancing in Gatsby? Like, is that crazy for you? I'm okay. I'm totally okay with it. I really am. No, I never want. I really have worked my entire career to try to be a jack of all trades, to try to be a Swiss Army knife, and I always consider myself an actor first. Dancing was my first love, but I think that any musical theater artist, any vocalist, any dancer, you need to consider yourself an actor first, because whatever it is that you're storytelling. Yeah. And in your vocals, in your movement, there has to be an interpretation, there has to be motivation. Yeah. And I never want my dancing chops to be a crutch. I don't want that to be something that, like, I know it's one thing that I'm very, very good at,
Yeah.
but it's important for me to do projects like this for people to know. No, I don't just.
Yeah.
I'm not just a dancer.
Yeah.
Like this
Yeah.
is a very
Exactly.
It's the same thing even with I love doing straight plays. It's
Well,
not
you
just
are
musical theater.
a phenomenal actor.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I want to talk about your 15-year career
Mm-hmm.
that you've had on Broadway. I mean, 20 years old. Sorry, I've just actually registered that. As Snavi in The Heights.
Yeah.
20?
I was 20 when I made my Broadway debut as Usnavi, yeah.
As an adult.
Yeah.
Because you made your, off-Broadway debut.
Yes, off-Broadway debut at 6. And then I did musical theater in high school and did more not professional gigs, but then yes, did my
wow.
my Broadway debut.
It was no option for you. You were Broadway was your
Broadway bound. Broadway was definitely in the yes. I had my sights set on Broadway from a very early age. My mom kept so many of all of our old schoolwork papers and reports and I had. There was one that I had written, I think it was in 2nd grade, and I talk about being on Broadway.
That makes me want to cry.
And it was so cool to that she
did
pulled
it.
that out and showed that
bet
to
she
me
did.
afterward. Yeah.
I know that this is a musical theatre podcast, but I just don't think you understand how much responsibility that is for a 20-year-old.
Well, it was the role in particular.
Yeah.
So now, obviously, everybody knows Lin-Manuel Miranda and how much associated he is with Hamilton, and Hamilton has become such a massive success. But prior to Hamilton, In the Heights was considered an incredible success.
Oh my gosh.
And I was just coming off of doing the 3rd High School Musical film, which again I had been working from 2 years old.
Yeah.
But that was something that when it was announced that I was going to be taking over for that role, there was a major backlash. In that the main major response was, oh my God, this Disney kid is going to be taking over this role. And I remember seeing that and just going, okay, sure.
Do you know how? Because I know you personally. That makes me so angry.
It was a role that it was so right place at the right time, and I knew exactly who this person was, and the energy of that production was exactly where I was at in my head at that time. And so after the initial performance and those first few weeks of even previews and once the reviews came out, it was like a complete 180.
Yeah.
And
he deserves to be here.
And that was sort of and it was from that just led to the rest of my Broadway career.
It was your golden ticket.
Yeah.
I talk about 9 to 5 being mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so fortunate that they took the chance on me to do that role. Now I auditioned for it. It's not like they just handed it to me. But it was even that was a crazy series of events how that led to that, because there was another project that I was offered to go make my Broadway debut, and ultimately I ended up turning it down because me and my team felt that was not the right first move.
Wow. Okay.
And that was a very difficult decision to turn down a Broadway role.
Yeah.
That
Wow.
and when this came about, that was exactly what we were waiting for.
It was your gut. Your gut knew.
Yeah.
And also, High School Musical, we will talk about it. It was a gigantic success, but that isn't your identity. You know?
Yeah.
You have a life and a story before it, and it's, for me, knowing who you are as a person, it's a full circle moment for you. It's where you started, and it's where you're now.
Yeah.
Where you will remain.
Yeah.
You know.
It is. I know at this point in my career that will always be one of the major symbols on my flag.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yes.
There's no way that and I'm grateful for that.
Yeah.
I say it is a gift that keeps on giving, especially the fact that we're 20 years out now from its initial. Yeah, it's the 2006. Was when
old.
Yeah, you're telling me. 2006 was when the first one aired. We shot it in 2005, so we are officially 20 years out from when we shot the first one. The fact that there are still new generations that are watching it
and benefiting from it.
And yes, it's and I go back to what I was saying before. What we talked about, me being the only boy in dance classes, and now. So much of it because of High School Musical.
Yeah.
You have these sports figures that are now older and in their 20s, 30s that grew up with High School Musical that have no problem showcasing how much they sing and how much they dance because it made it cool. It made it okay. It made it okay to be able to do both. I that is such a beautiful thing, and I have things. Projects, actors that I grew up with that shaped who I am and inspired me to do what I do. So I am aware of the fact that there are people that's what High School Musical is to them.
Literally changing lives out here.
It's surreal to me. It's surreal to me that I am a part of that. In a way I feel oddly like removed from it because it's there's just no, I don't know how to, there's no way that's me. But there is, of course, the fact that we are 20 years out from it. I've had an entire career since then. And there are people that's still all they can see and talk about, which again, I'm appreciative that there's a love for that's there. But, for instance, when we're at the stage door for here at Gatsby, and there, like, I walk out and the first thing you want to say is a High School Musical reference, or you want me to say a line from it or something, and I go, well, I just spent the last 2.5 hours performing for you, and I'm not a dancing monkey. I'm not out here to perform more for you right now. This is a moment for us to have a connection because we just had this amazing magical experience in that theater together. So could we maybe talk about what just happened?
Do you think that has it's been more in London?
I do. Which has been interesting. I back home on Broadway in New York. Not to say that there aren't High School Musical fans. Of course there are High School Musical fans. But at the stage door, typically what I found is that people do want to talk about specifically the show. Yeah. Or if they talk about High School Musical, it's because they do want to. They talk about the show and then they say, by the way, just I grew up with you or whatever it may be. But most people don't ask me to then like say a line or it's the puns. I think people are very into puns out here. So there's that. There's everybody loves to bring up like one that happens all the time. I thought you didn't dance. Oh. And it's like, okay, and it's the expectation of wanting it to be some sort of a reaction from me where I'm going, you just made the same joke that 7 other people in the line just made, and I hear every single day. So at this point, I'm not gonna react. If anything, you're causing a sort of me to back away. So now instead of me wanting to have a conversation with you, you do that, and I'm going, okay, cool. Thank you so much, and I'm going to move on now.
If you think about it, it must be exhausting.
It is, because you put in so much work and love into what you're in the middle of doing right now, and it almost is reductive to everything that you're doing. And as much as I understand that it's because there's a love that's there, there's an excitement for High School Musical, I appreciate that. It's to have the wherewithal to know that understand that we did just
Do
what we just did.
I just gave
you all
everything.
of that. Everything. I gave you
you
my
everything
soul
for
just
2.5
now.
hours. Yeah.
Yes. And you want to talk about something from 20 years
ago.
Or even that, I can understand you wanting to talk about it. It's the expectation for me to respond in a certain way, or for me to, again, say a line from the movie. And so much so that here what we've had to do is our security actually prior to me going out says he's not going to say anything from High School Musical. That's not something that we've had to do back home.
Interesting.
That's been interesting. That's been a major difference that I'm not sure what that is.
Yeah, I think as well. I don't think some people thought they'd ever meet you in their lifetime because you're American. It's that as well.
That makes sense.
Like Corbin Bleu's in England and he's right there. Like they'll push their luck, you know.
I understand. Yeah. I
but
get that.
I think you have worked so hard, and yes, High School Musical is a big part of your story, but it's not your story.
It's not my entire identity.
No,
right.
It's
exactly.
That. It's
right.
that.
Yeah.
And obviously, we're kind of in a similar situation because.
Yeah, with you.
With
yes,
me,
100%.
like I chose to do a reality show.
Yeah.
You know, I was a struggling auditionee, graduate, and I made this choice. And you know, so like sometimes it is I have just done that and nothing else, and I have no talent, and I am just a girl from Love Island, and I do not deserve to be on stage. And it's like, guys, there is more to life than the choices.
And it's completely negating everything
that
you
I've
have done and worked for. And that's the thing is just because that opened up doors for you.
Yeah.
That's every person's career. Everybody has a particular anybody that's successful and is working has a beginning. You have something that opened up those doors.
Yeah.
And it's what you've done since those doors have been open and how you continue to grow.
Yeah. And commit.
And I will say one thing that's interesting out here is the, back home we have playbills.
Yes.
Playbills are given out
for free.
Every single show for free. So when you get the playbill, I think what's important is you actually know there's an insert that's showing you who's on.
Okay.
So if you have an understudy or a cover that's on that night, it's telling you that they're on. So that way, one, you're aware of it, but two, if you have that memento, and you can go home and you can say, because later down the line, when that understudy is headlining, you can go, hey, I saw them play this role at this time. But there's also the fact of like bios. Everyone has the ability to look at your bio and see what you've done. Whereas here you have to pay for the additional playbill. So then not everybody does it. So not everybody knows your bio. They only know what's right in front of them. But I think that's it probably plays a part into it.
I've never thought of that. I want to just ask, from In the Heights, Godspell, Holiday Inn, Kiss Me Kate, Singin' in the Rain, what has been like a turning point in your career where you thought, wow, I learned so much on that job?
I do not think there's a single one that I've done that I didn't learn something. And I think that's unintentional and intentional. I think that no matter what, it's going to happen. You're going to always learn things. But I do also intentionally every single time go, okay, what's different? What do I need to grow now as a performer? Funny enough, Singin' in the Rain.
That was huge.
That was what was amazing about Singin' in the Rain was actually kind of the opposite of what I just said. Singin' in the Rain was one where I did that show and it fit like a glove.
Really?
I feel like Singin' in the Rain is a show I was made to do.
I love that.
And it was the music, the character, the tone of the show. It's just so much who I am that was one where every part of it I was like, yep, I got that. Yep, I got that. Yep, I got that. So I don't feel like that was as much of a growth for me as much as I getting a chance to truly just spread my wings and revel in it. So that was really
also
really
I want to ask, have you got a role or a show or even like a specific theater that you're like, I have got to do that in my lifetime?
100%. Yes. So there are, I mean, of course there's multiple roles, but there's two that I've always said for a very, very long time, and they're very different. One of them is I want to play Frankenfurter in Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Okay. I can see it.
I've been a fan of the show for a very long time. Again, as a mover, as a dancer, and as someone that is very comfortable in dressing up. Huh?
Very little.
Very little. Very what?
Very little clothes.
Oh, and exactly. Yes, exactly. Yes, very comfortable in very little, exactly. Yeah. I know that's one that, again, people probably wouldn't expect from me, but that's one that I know is very much who I am.
Come on.
And then another one is to play Burrs in the Wild Party, specifically the Lipper version.
Yep. You've said that I've heard you say that.
I've said it for a very long time. I'm a massive fan of the show and the music and of Brian Darcy James.
Yeah.
And I feel like he has been a major inspiration for me vocally, just where his voice is and where he places things. It's something that, as I've gone on my own vocal journey in my life and in my career, he's someone that I always come back to, that I go, God, like everything that's where my voice is. That's kind of exactly where I feel most comfortable. And that,
I love that you've got someone, you've got like a role model.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And someone who does it very well to try to emulate. Yeah. So yeah, I those two would.
Well, I have witchy senses.
You do have witchy senses. You have witchy powers.
I do, and there's not one part of my human body that says that those things aren't going to happen for you.
Well, thank you.
And I'll be there in the audience.
I believe that. Yep. That means a lot. Thank you.
I can see it. Okay, one last question before we finish.
Yeah.
Who is one person in this wild industry? It can be Broadway, London. Who is one person you would dream to work opposite? It would be a dream to work opposite.
Okay, so I'm going to say Hugh Jackman. And then both of the three named Bryans. So Brian Darcy James and Brian Stokes Mitchell.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
And I can see it happening. Firstly, before we finish, I love you with all my heart.
I love you, Amber, so much.
Honestly,
truly,
me and you.
I'm so grateful.
We were always meant to work together.
Yes.
Like, I feel that in my bones.
Yeah.
I was always meant to meet Sasha. I literally love Sasha, Corbin's wife, who is also an actress, so much. You are the most beautiful pair. You are the best person. Honestly, I feel so lucky. I feel so grateful.
I'm so grateful, and thank you for having me. And
Thank
this is
you.
so wonderful. This has been it is such a beautiful thing to get to do an interview, have a conversation with someone that you're truly so comfortable with and friends with, and the conversation could not be more real.
Yes.
And I feel like everything that we even just talked about today, there wasn't a single moment where I'm sitting here going, okay, how do I say this? How do I place this? I feel like we just get I get to just be myself with you.
Yeah.
So
and yourself
it means so much.
Is amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for listening, and we need to get ready for a show.
I know, right? We have a show tonight. Here we go. All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye, y'all. Thank you.